at the foreword of Rattlesnake Mesa, and today we're going to look at the first story called Crown Point. Crown Point Indian Agency was like a tiny, precious jewel flung far out on the edge of the eastern Navajo reservation. It was set back in the cup of a mesa like a horseshoe. In miles and miles of arid desert land sat this small, green oasis, a little Indian boarding school. Surrounded by tall trees, shrubbery, and flowers, it was tended with great care. In March my father picked me up from my grandmother's home and brought me to Crown Point to live with him, finishing the school year. My Aunt Elizabeth and Uncle Joe also lived here, employed in the Indian service. These people, Aunt Elizabeth, Uncle Joe, and my father, were all strangers to me. I was miserable. I did not want to be there. I did not want to live with this stranger, my father. I didn't want any part of this life. I was at Crown Point because my beloved grandmother, who had raised me from a baby, had taken her journey to the spirit world. My heart was shattered. No one knows how a small child grieves, unable to express the intense anguish locked inside. Tears, tears, tears. Tears do not heal the broken heart. So I'm going to ask you to stop and think here. What do you know about Edna from what you've heard so far? Stop and think. The adults acted as if everything was just fine, as if nothing traumatic had just happened. They would talk in front of me, as if I blended into the walls, as though I didn't have ears. How is she taking all this? Oh, very well. Children, you know. She's fine. She's just shy and quiet. Very quiet, because small children cannot speak or express themselves about death. Inside, I longed for my cherished grandmother. Why couldn't I have traveled with her to the spirit world? Why didn't she take me on this journey? She had taken me on so many others. I'd have been good, very good. In my dreams, she'd appear and I'd cry out, "Grandmother, grandmother, wait for me." A tender smile would cross her beautiful face and she'd be gone. I was left alone again. At Crown Point, there was a boarding school for Indian children from kindergarten through 6th grade. There were 2 dormitories for the girls and 3 for the boys. The girl students numbered around 150, the boys about 200. To maintain these children and keep the school running were a vast kitchen and dining hall. There was a bakery, a laundry, and a hospital. A powerhouse generated electricity for the school. There were employees working in all these departments, mostly Anglos, some Indians. Then there was the day school for children of Crown Point employees, in which I found myself enrolled. I would finish the school year there. The next school year, I would be sent to the boarding school in Phoenix. The day school was a one-room schoolhouse with no more than 10 students. The teacher, Miss Bonnie, taught all grades. On my first day of school, a girl named Nana came to my father's place to take me to the schoolhouse. She already knew I was coming to Crown Point. Her family and my father were close friends. A boy named Little Fat joined us on the half-mile walk to school. As with most children, there was no awkwardness in our first meeting. They told me about their school. They liked it, especially Miss Bonnie. They were in the 2nd grade. I was 7, nearly 8 years old. Nana and Little Fat were the same age as I. We began walking to school together every day. When we got there, we played jump rope or jacks with the other children. Miss Bonnie was young, and sometimes she played with us. Inside the schoolhouse, she had all kinds of potted plants hanging in the windows. She kept a little fire going in the coal stove to take off the morning chill. The big room was bright and cheery. I began to look forward to going to school, and Nana and Little Fat and I became fast friends. They asked no questions of my past, nor did they care. They lived in today and for tomorrow. My own life began changing, flowering right alongside theirs. I learned it was possible to roll all the laughter and joy I shared with my grandmother into a tiny ball and store it within my soul, where it would be forever safe and always near. Smile, laugh a lot, cry a little.